Well, it started out, I was asleep, and I woke up out of sound sleep, and everything was black. And it was so black, I couldn't even see my hand in front of me. And I, I realized I was no longer in my room. And I was looking all around trying to see and decide where was I? What was going on? And as I was on this granite, rough granite, and it was like big holes, pit holes, with steam coming out of it, and I realized that this is hell. And all of a sudden I could see. At first I couldn't see my hand in front of me, and then all of a sudden I could see. I could see for hundreds of miles. My eyes were not limited, and I saw nothing. It was just dark and nothing. There was not a person. There was no noise. There was nothing. And then out of all this darkness and this silence, all of a sudden I heard this scream. And the scream was a scream like I have never heard in even a horror movie. It was so loud. It was so, all you could hear was fear, torment, pain. And I knew that whatever was going on with her, I thought it was her. I don't know why, but I did. And I thought, whatever's going on with her, it's
Now, who's her?
The one she heard screaming.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
And so anyway, I knew that whatever was happening to her was getting ready to happen to me.
Oh, God.
And I was very, very afraid, very afraid. And all of a sudden, I see these imps. They were like, I'd say maybe 4 feet tall. And they were nasty. They stunk. It was the worst smell I ever smelled in my life. And they were all excited and in glee of what they were getting ready to do. And they were all in one accord because they were all assigned to me for all eternity
Oh,
to
God.
torment me. And they had chains and all kind of gadgets and stuff. And anyway, they were laughing and going and jeering with what they were going to do to me and all that. And they had this slimy stuff coming out of them, and they were just so nasty. And
Were they touching?
were they what?
Touching you.
No, not at this point. They
Not
weren't.
yet.
At this point, they weren't touching me. And I'm observing this, but I know they're getting ready to come at me. And they were just laughing and going, you're going to be in hell forever and ever and ever, and we're going to be your tormentor forever and ever and ever. And next thing I know, they were saying the most horrific, shameful. It was you take your most embarrassing moment in your life and multiply it by 1,000. Because that's how awful it was, the things that they were telling me and accusing me of. And it was just, I couldn't hardly stand it. And then the next thing I know, they were burning me. But I realized that my body wouldn't burn. It was painful like being burned, but it wouldn't.
Respond.
Yeah. And they were just doing all kind of vile things to me. And I knew that this was going to be forever and ever with no end. I'm trying to think. The next thing, Lord help me. That went on for a long time, and then I woke up, and I was so grateful to God that I woke up, that I wasn't forever in hell. And it was just very real, and I knew. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You would hear people say, "Oh, well, that's okay. I'll be in hell with all my friends."
Yeah.
One of the worst parts of this hell was that I had no one. I was all by myself, and the loneliness, the fear, the knowing that I would never ever be with God. And I was very aware of God, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing I could do to stop it. And like I said, when I woke up, when I came back, it was like I was so grateful to God that it didn't actually happen. And I was like, I mean, I was perspiring all over. I was and just so beside myself of what I'd been through. It was so dramatic.
Wow.
Apple, didn't it smell bad?
Oh yeah, I had said that.
Yeah,
They-
she's
Oh, and the spitting.
Oh yeah, when they were making fun of me and jeering me, the spit would come out of their mouths on me, and
and
it
a
was
stench.
the stench. Oh, they smelled worse than anything I ever smelled in my life, by about 1,000 times. I mean, and they had this look like snot coming from them. It was horrible. They were so nasty, so dirty, and they all had that one thing in common of tormenting me for all eternity. And I was by myself. It was not a party. Believe me, it was not a party.
Apple, could you see yourself then? I mean, did you realize what you had on? Did you still have your pajamas on or what?
No, I wasn't aware of what I had on.
Okay.
I wasn't. When I was aware,
Was
I was
surrounded.
standing up in this darkness. It was just so black at first that I couldn't see my hand in front of me. And then as my eyes adjusted, they adjusted to the point that I could see like hundreds of miles. And there was nothing around, nothing, just me and hundreds of miles of nothing.
God,
And the fear of the unknown, the spirit of loneliness, and I knew it was forever and ever with no end. I knew it, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But when I heard that scream, like I said, oh, and I took on that same scream. I started screaming just like they were screaming.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was just horrendous.
The godliness of it. No God
Oh, none.
anywhere around there.
None. And I remember in this situation, I was thinking, I've always heard, oh, well, I'll be in heaven with all my friends. No.
Miss Apple, you knew that this was not a dream.
No, it was not a dream.
Because right at the beginning, you felt like
You
it.
were awake, yeah.
You were, yeah, right. That you were awake, and it was like an out of body experience that you had, huh?
Right, it was. I woke up from sleep, and next thing you know, I was in this darkness.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then after you went through that, then you came back to your body the same way that you
Right.
left, you know. But
Right.
very grateful to God that the Lord
Right.
allowed you to come
Right,
back.
right.
Wow, tremendous.
And I think one of the main things that people need to know is that you're not going to be with anyone other than your tormentor. And even dreams, I mean, people that I've heard give their testimonies about hell, they might have had people around them,
Yeah.
but they weren't with them. They weren't. They showed no comfort to each other. None. They're in their own horror of whatever,
Taking place, yeah.
whatever's taking place with them.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
hell is real. It's very real.
You want to tell about you were a baby Christian and that you, Brother Roy,
Oh yeah, so I hadn't been a Christian. I hadn't been saved that long, but I was on fire for God. And before this happened, I was on fire for God. I was excited about the things of the Lord. And I was going to Bethany at the time. And so I told Brother Roy about what had happened, and he had me come and give that testimony at Bethany.
Wow.
And the main thing then too that I got across was that it's not a party, and you're by yourself in this torment.
The same thing is it's a personal relationship with Christ. It's a personal torment when you without Him.
And there's no end
personal,
to it.
yeah.
And that, I mean, you think of every way you can be physically hurt, they do it,
Wow.
and it doesn't stop. There's no stopping
Never
to
ending,
it. It's
yeah.
forever and ever and ever, never. And not only was the physical pain, but the mental anguish and the jeering and they made fun of you, and it made you felt all this. I felt such shame and embarrassment and hate. Oh, they hated me. They hated me, and it was almost like tangible. It was so thick of hate.
Wow.
and they all hated me together.
Oh.
And everything they could think of, everything, and it was evil. They're so evil that they could think of things that we would never even imagine, and they did it. They did it to me.
Wow. Ms. Apple, what would you tell the people that are watching that they don't believe in hell? What would you tell them to do to escape from hell and condemnation? What would you tell them about coming to the Lord, about receiving the Lord?
Well, number one, I know for a fact there's hell, and I would say, don't walk, but run into the arms of Jesus.
Amen.
That Jesus is the only way. But He is the way, and He is everything that we want. He is all of our love. That's what people want, is love, to be loved and
He
accepted.
gives meaning to life.
Yeah, and to be accepted and to have fun. Jesus is it. He is it. And nothing else is satisfying like the Lord. Nothing.
Thank God. Praise
And you think about the things that we enjoy. We enjoy eating desserts and stuff like that. But that's only rewarding and satisfying for a moment. And then we're not satisfied about it. It doesn't even satisfy us anymore. But Jesus satisfies us through and through, forever and ever. There's no excitement like the Lord. I remember when I first got saved and was going to this little full gospel church. It reminds me of the rest of the place. And we would have so much fun. And I had never been in church because I was Catholic. And I'd been in church, but not where you
A religious church.
talked and had fellowship. And we would sing and dance and praise the Lord. And I can remember saying, oh, Brother Stewart, this is so wonderful. I've been to parties in my life, but nothing like this.
Praise
And
God.
that's what heaven is. Heaven can be right here on earth through Jesus.
Amen.
And it gets better and better and sweeter and sweeter.
Yes,
Amen.
Amen to
Thank
that.
you.